Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, today with your weekly live reaction replay video. So if you are new here, I tend to do one, maybe two of these videos a week depending upon how everything is going, and these are live reaction replays. So I'm sitting down watching them with you for the very first time, so you guys get my genuine reaction to whatever it is that goes on in the match. It's a lot more entertaining in my opinion that way than a traditional, more analytical replay video. But anyway, in today's replay video, we have the Tier 10 steel German battleship, the Mecklenburg, for your viewing pleasure, being driven by one Raphael. Now, he sent me this in an email with some small details as to what happens in the game, and I do believe you are going to very much want to see the course of this game. It definitely highlights the strengths of the Mecklenburg from my understanding, which the Mecklenburg is already a really good Tier 10 steel ship. It's one of the best German premiums in my humble opinion, and definitely is a steel ship you should have on your list to get. Even if you only get a handful of steel ships, the Mecklenburg needs to be one. You've got 16 of Gear's 305mm guns, which, yes, they're small, but I mean, like, 16 of them, right? On an FDG hull with 128mm secondaries absolutely everywhere. Let's see, what type of build does he have on his... Okay, it looks like a hybrid build. He has 11km secondaries. Let's see how accurate his main battery guns are. Doesn't look too bad. So, yeah, he probably has a hybrid main battery secondary build on his Mecklenburg, which is the beauty of the Mecklenburg. You can run a main battery build on it. You can run a full secondary build on it. Doesn't really matter what you do. It will work with the Mecklenburg. I mean, obviously you can't go put some convoluted, nonsensical build on it, but there's more than one build option, unlike a lot of other battleships where you don't really have too many options. You know, you got a build that works, and you got to kind of stick to it, you know. Mecklenburg here, again, multiple builds that will work on it. So, let's see, what's going on? So this is arms race. It looks like wow. Surprisingly, there's a fair amount of red and green ships going into the middle already. Typically, with arms race, and on this map, you tend to see the players tend to go to one side of the map or the other. Not too many go to the middle right away. But as you can see, they have an Indiana, Ismo, Minotaur, Jaeger, and a San Diego, all just rushing into the middle, which is most interesting indeed. Oh, there is a a gearing spotted there. Alright, predicts that he's going to slam his gearing into full ahead, which he probably will. There goes the San Diego. And good hits on that gearing, though. Dang, yeah, ripped him for like 3,000-4,000 damage there. That's pretty good for a shot on a destroyer from that range, too. We have an FDG that seems to be trying to get sunk as fast as possible. Drives up into the center of the map and just stops. So he's going down here. Nope. The Indiana gets the kill there, which is the new upcoming American Premium Tier 9 battleship. It's a South Dakota class. Can't wait to see her in my port. Kushiro takes out the friendly Trump. So, green team, they're ahead on buffs right now, but they are losing the battle as far as kills go at the moment. Okay, Ostergotland, Amagi, Conk. Looks like he's going for the Amagi right now. You know, we do definitely want to shoot destroyers as much as possible, but, you know, for 14 kilometers away, unless you've got some crazy accurate battleship, you're probably better off trying to take somebody else out. Alright, let's see. Rear turrets out on the Iwami. Let's see if we'll get some fires there. Oh, the other Trump went out too now, so now the green team's down 2 Trumps and a cruiser. Okay. Now he's going after the Ostergotland 13 kilometers away. Ooh, Ismo's stuck bowing. You don't want to do that. You definitely don't want to get stuck in that situation. Oh, good. Fire and 4 shell hits on the Ostergotland. Yeah, so battleship and large cruiser players, you don't want to go bow in until you're really sure about what you're doing, because you're now committed to it, as Ismo's finding out, because you can't really do anything once you go bow in, and if you get stuck in a situation where you're being shot at by a good amount of the enemy team, what you going to do? Turn around and get citadel? Can't do that. So you got to throw it into reverse and basically accept your slow death by fire. Well, no, I was going to say it does look like this Izumo might have escaped that fate, although he is still getting HE spammed a little bit there. But he has just sacrificed a large amount of his HP for essentially nothing at this point. Alright. So let's see. You got a Conqueror coming around the corner here and an Iwami. Conqueror is now within his secondary range. I'm sure he is salivating at the prospect of that happening. Let's see. Okay, he does have manual. Secondary is on. Loading AP into the barrels as well, which, yes, you very much want to do. They are smaller guns for a battleship, but they are still gears guns with that wonderful German AP. Unfortunately, naturally, as he's loading AP into his tubes, the Conqueror does turn. Granted, he had to try to not eat all those torpedoes, but he still did have a very healthy diet of metal fish there. Alright, taking shots at his turrets, trying to knock those bad boys out. And yep, sure enough, the Mecklenburg does have torpedoes as well. Ooh, he was caught a little bit broadside there, but thankfully nothing too serious from the Conqueror. Fire set on the Conqueror. By the way, these secondary shells, if they hit the hull, they should be pinning, because they can pin 32 millimeters of armor, no problem. And the Conqueror is coated in 32 everywhere. More shells at his barbettes. Gets a couple good pins there for 19k. Another fire on the Conqueror. Looks like this Conqueror did use his, nope, there he goes. There's his super hill, his 3D hill. Ooh, yeah, there you go. Big hit there with that Conqueror AP. Although the Conqueror getting a little bit greedy, trying to get those rear turrets in on the action. This should be a dead Conq. Yes, there we go. Nice shot there. One dead Conqueror. Okay, we're now 3-2 with the ship kills at the moment. Red team is catching up on buffs as well. They have a heal buff, an HP buff, and 2 damage buffs. Alright, Raphael's trying to line up the shot on this Ulster Gauntlet. Let's see how well he manages to do that. Well, Wami does take out the Yumahara. So there that goes. Looks pretty decent. Okay, some good hits. You know, any damage is good damage on a destroyer. Minotaur takes out the enemy gearing. Alright, so we are now 3-4. Key area is about to appear. Looks like the red team has won the battle out east. The green team, they're kind of holding in the west, although it doesn't look all that good out here. You got an Iwami, a Groningen, a Latoro, and a Kushiro, and of course, also Gotland pushing up to the west. Jaeger, a friendly Jaeger, however, is on a side quest to sink the carrier. Which, if he pulls that off, good on him. Barbiano takes out the Indiana. Ooh, I didn't even see they had a Barbiano on the enemy team. That's going to be a pain to deal with. Alright, HE out on the Iwami, such as his forward turrets. Yep, here goes his rear turrets. Taps him on the stern a little bit there. Unfortunately, no fires. Can we get lucky with the rear turrets? There we go. Fire on the Iwami. So the other thing, too, is that, as you can see, with the reload as fast as the Mecklenburgs, even though the HE isn't that potent because of the German HE, and the German HE is a little bit lethargic when it comes to alpha damage, you can very much set plenty of fires with it. Alright, got another fire on the Iwami. He's 2 fires in on him. Assume the Iwami used his damage counter rate, so those 2 fires are going to burn nicely. And let's see what he's doing here. He's got some torpedoes coming in. Another fire. 3 fires on the Iwami. Does this guy not have fire prevention? I guess not. Can we get to 4? Ah, it goes undetected. Alright, let's see. So Kushiro's still out south, and the Yamagi and the Barbiano on the red team are pushing up north. There goes the Izumo that we were talking about earlier. Alright, so now half of the green team has been sunk. They're down to 6 ships versus the red team's 9 ships that are still up. Iwami, though, is burning down very nicely. There's the also Gauntlet yet again. The Toro is very low. Unfortunately, it looks like the Jaeger did not successfully sink the Nakhimov just yet. He could do something really funny and go down the channel from the island that the Nakhimov has nuzzled up to, and try to get him that way. But he does also have a Kushiro that's coming into his torpedo range. Alright, can we get some more fires on the Iwami? Looks like the answer to that is no. There's HE from the Iwami's main guns. Very risky choice that the Iwami would choose to spam HE. I guess after being burned down by so much, by the Mecklenburg so much, probably doesn't really appreciate that. Alright, almost Gibson there is going to get stolen, ain't it? No. Alright, HE, again from the Iwami. Interesting choice. You could use AP and chunk the crap out of his superstructure. Knocks out his torpedo tubes. The Ostergotland did get spotted there for a second. Got the secondaries on him. Alright, there is his second kill of the match. Also earning him Arsonist there. 150,000 damage already. Alright, hello, Mr. Ostergotland. You definitely have torpedoes on the way. Is he turning? Nope, he's not turning. The replay is just glitched because naturally it is. Knocks out the torp tubes on the Ostergotland. Unfortunately, looks like he forgot to click him with his secondary gun, so his secondary guns can start to get more accurate. Does get a fire on him, though. The Ostergotland might beach here. Maybe. But the midway should keep him spotted. There's the torps. I don't know what he was aiming at, but they seem to be horrifically lagged behind him. Okay, so now we have 7 ships left alive. Oh, now we have 6 ships left alive on the red team. So now we have a 6v6. Suddenly, a very even match. Interesting. Never mind, there goes the friendly Minotaur. So now it is 5 versus 6. Lothario, very low, 11,000 HP. Got AP loaded up for that. The friendly Jaeger is in the cap. However, he is unfortunately contested. So that means that Groningen or the Babiano is in the cap with him. Jaeger is most definitely not the ship you want to pick a fight with the Barbiano in. That's for sure. Now that Jaeger is probably salivating at that Amagi coming to the cap. Speaking of salivating, I'm sure Raphael is salivating at the prospect of plopping this Lothario for his, rest of his HP. Oh, what did I tell you? There goes the Jaeger to the Barbiano. Citadel there for 7,500 damage. That is his 3rd kill of the game, boys and girls. Alright, 5 ships left up on the red team. You got Jaeger still alive in the A-cap contesting it. A friendly Bismarck and a Midway way in the back. Well, it's a CV. No surprise there. Alright, hello, Mr. Amagi. Getting the HE out on him. Man, Nakhimov, though, that is still a very nasty carrier. She's gone through quite a few changes, more balancing changes and such. But that is still a carrier you do not want to run across if you can help it. So the Jaeger is spotted. So I'm assuming most of the shells are going to. The Jaeger is also a ship you don't want to really be going up against late game because of how easy it is to get close to you once a good chunk of your team is dead. And then now it's just tossing its torpedoes at you almost constantly thanks to that crazy reload time. Alright, Damage Cons a single fire. Gets some HE out on the Amagi. There goes his torps. They are now, well, they would be perma-knocked, but they are now fully incapacitated. It'll take them 34 seconds for them to get back into the action. Jaeger lands a couple of torps on the Amagi. That's definitely some flooding that's started. Alright, full broadside of HE out on the Amagi. If this starts a fire, it will be a perma-fire, and that Amagi will be very much not happy. Well, there's high caliber. No fires, unfortunately. I'm going to assume that Amagi's damage con came off a cooldown, and he utilized it. Okay, around this corner, he's going to find himself with a Kushiro and potentially a Groningen in his face. Let's see what happens now, boys and girls. We're getting down to the Thunderdome. Whoever captures the A-cap is going to get a stupid amount of points coming into their counter. He gets, what was that? Yeah, Witherer there. Ooh, so low. So low is that Amagi. Kushiro's at half health. You have a Mainz at like his last quarter of health. Alright. HE out on the Amagi. That should be a dead Amagi. Oh, there's the Groningen too. So that's his secondaries on the Groningen. Yep, there you go. Dead Amagi. Of course he gets a double fire when he sinks him with his alpha damage. Alright. Mainz, Kushiro, and a Groningen. He has the remaining ships on the enemy team in front of him with 4 kills to his name. Hi Mainz, how's it going? Alright, AP out on the Mainz. Should be a dead Mainz. Yes, there we go. There's Kraken unleashed. Secondaries on the Groningen with the Kushiro, who he should have absolutely no problem at all dev striking. Well, not dev striking, but deleting here. Now, he does have that Barbion to deal with, which is quite an annoying ship if you can't tell by the sounds. Alright, come on. Alright, there we go. Main battle reload time buff, that courtesy of Lucian's. His secondaries get the Groningen by fire. Now we have a Kushiro left to deal with. That is my Discord and not yours. And oh, beautiful salvo on the Kushiro. Kill number 7. And now he has the Barbiano to deal with. And just like that, boys and girls, the friendly side has gone to losing this game by quite a bit to now they are winning. And this Barbiano is, I know, loving his time right now, just getting to farm the crap out of German superstructure. But that time will unfortunately have to come to an end here. Alright, come on, Mr. Barbiano. What's he doing? Ah, there he is. 6k away. Is that a silver camo? Or a steel camo on the Barbiano? I think it is. 11k with the forward turrets. Midway might yoink the kill here from him. Come on, secondaries. There we go. Close quarters expert there. 255,000 damage done. 8 kills, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about biding your time and finding the right time to push. Beautiful. Beautifully well done, sir. 8 kills with Witherer, Arsonist, Confederate, Close Quarters Expert, Dreadnought, Kraken, and High Caliber. 110 secondary guns hits. 110 secondary battery hits. 8 kills. Base XP. Gotta be in the 3Ks. Gotta be in the 3Ks. Yeah. 3,072 base XP. Well done, Raphael. That was a good game. Man, I love the Mecklenburg so much, and you should too, which is why I cannot recommend getting this ship for steel. It's such a fun ship. And I think you did have a hybrid build on there. Raphael, if you're in the comments down below, let us know what type of build you had on your Mecklenburg, because I am most curious. So guys, if you have an awesome replay like that, feel free to send it into the link in the description down below. Hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday, wonderful rest of your week. Again, thank you, Raphael, for sending in that replay showing us how awesome the Mecklenburg is. So, yeah, hope you guys have a great Thursday. And if you did like what you saw here, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.